In today's energy markets, I want to focus on WTI crude futures. Volatility was the name of the game today. We saw quite a range, about a 3.5% range in the WTI contract today. We saw a high of 57.72, a low of 55.76, and we settled right around the 56.30 level, which is amazing given the fact that we saw quite a rally initially today when we had some numbers come out overnight. We had some data today, and so I want to focus on a couple of those numbers or news items that came out. First of all, the announcement overnight that the U.S. and China are going to reestablish negotiations, and they've set a time frame in October, at least a meeting date. So that was viewed as a very positive step in the trade situation, and it certainly helped propel WTI higher initially. We saw WTI up quite significantly at the start of the day. Then we had the EIA number come out today, and we saw a little bit larger draw than was expected. So again, we saw that upward momentum continue. The equity markets were rallying strong, so we had all these what would be perceived as risk-on type of asset classes benefiting from the narrative coming out of the U.S.-China trade situation. But then this afternoon, we just saw some heavy selling come into the WTI space, pushing it back down to basically unched on the day. And I think, we just saw that there are some sellers over this 57 level. And even though from a technical standpoint, we saw it break above this downward trend from July, really, from a short-term perspective, it still appears that from a valuation standpoint, there are sellers poised to jump in the markets up here. We are seeing the narrative, I think, from OPEC and Russia deteriorate a little bit, so maybe that's causing some of this selling pressure once we see the market push up towards the high end of the range. But nonetheless, I think when you look at the price action today, even though we are technically breaking this uptrend, it's a short-term uptrend, and it appears that there are sellers poised above this market to push WTI back down to the middle of the range. Now, that range, I think, is actually quite important to point out. August low, 50.50 on the low end. That was the June and August low. Now, we haven't really tested that in the last few weeks. And again, we're seeing, this kind of pyramid type of technical setting into the from a technical standpoint, from a chart standpoint, excuse me. So this is a key level here. Again, we're seeing it coil right around this 55 to 56 level, and I do expect that this volatility is going to persist, and we'll have to see if we can't see WTI get above this 56 level and hold it for any significant length of time, then it puts the onus on the bears, I think, to push this thing back down, and we could see a test of that 50-50 level before it's all said and done.